Major astrology alert. Jupiter makes a big shift and enters the fertile, abundant, and grounded sign of Taurus on Tuesday, May 16th. Get ready for a full year of Jupiter in Taurus, the year where we pursue our goals with steadiness and patience, invest into art and beauty, and value rest as much, if not more, than productivity. I'm excited. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal relationship and predictive readings. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave me a like or a comment, and if you'd like to work with me, check out the links down below. You can always book a reading at anastasiadoesastrology.com. The link is down there. Before we dive in, please subscribe, as mentioned, if you haven't yet. And since Jupiter is entering Taurus, the sign of relaxing and enjoying life, couldn't pass on an opportunity to remind you guys that I am hosting a travel retreat in the magical and beautiful Costa Rica in late September. It's going to be a 6-day trip involving San Jose and more jungle, forest locations. We will go on multiple adventures. We will talk about astrology. I'm hosting 3 workshops breaking down some of the major topics. Check out the link down there. Reserve your spot. You can still get the early bird rate and save $100. And additionally, you know that I take a very active approach to astrology, and I like to work with it in the kind of proactive approach, right? Where you can take any challenging transit or any complicated transit or even like a complicated natal placement and improve it by attuning to it and addressing it consciously. So, you know, as Jupiter is about to enter Taurus, I have created candles called Moonlit Trinity that have Venus and the Moon in Taurus. So this could be a really lovely accompaniment for maximizing this energy. It's pink, it smells like strawberries and cream. If that's not a Taurus scent, I don't know what is. Check out my website. There's a link down there as well, and you can see the full selection of everything I created on there. And also let me know if you need any advice, if there is a placement in your chart that you struggle with that you could use help with. So this transit begins on May 16th, 2023. It lasts until May 25th, 2024. So over a year of Jupiter at a leisurely pace strolling through Taurus. Jupiter is the guru of the zodiac. It's the teacher. Whenever Jupiter goes into a sign, it teaches us something, right? In Taurus, being the Venus-ruled sign, the sign of sensuality and stability and groundedness, these are some of our gifts and some of the priorities we will have. We will prioritize joy and pleasure and kind of sensual pleasure. Jupiter represents optimism. Jupiter represents growth and wisdom, right? So based on the sign Jupiter is in, like I said, we tend to value the things represented by the sign. And in general, we've had Jupiter in Aries for almost a year, starting in May 2022 until late October 2022, and then again from December 2022 until May 16th, 2023. And in Aries, we felt excited. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's restless, it's courageous, it's willing to take leaps and risks, but sometimes better at starting things versus finishing them. In Taurus, Taurus being the fixed sign, we continue. We invest into maintenance, right? Traditionally, cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn start things, and then fixed signs right after them, in this case Taurus, but also Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius, they continue. They work on the energy that got started with the cardinal energy. And the mutable signs like Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces, they adapt. They kind of learn from the mistakes and they change things. So they're literally at the turn of the season. So in Aries, we started. In Taurus, we continue. In Aries is like a spark. Taurus is the realization of it, like actual labor you need to put in. You know, Aries is a conception of an idea or a baby, and then Taurus is like incarnation, the actual bringing to life, coming to life. It's an earth sign, so it's very stability oriented. It's not necessarily the fastest, so the things you're bringing forth may take longer to develop. There's also an element of Taurus being a yin sign, feminine sign, so things take more time, but you're not likely going to want to rush. Like I said, the priority is rest, the priority is balance, the priority is steadiness. So with that practical, grounded, rational energy of the earth sign and the ability to, you know, not overextend yourself, not kind of pursue, like not everything that glitters is gold, right? Like Taurus is really interested in finding true gold and then slowly chopping away at the rock to find more gold. So we are steady, we are committed, we're not necessarily looking for quick schemes, quick get rich schemes. We value tangible results, things that we can touch. You know, we kind of prioritize having clear goals, having clear plan. So you may prioritize those kind of things. Additionally, Taurus has long been associated with money, food, shelter, clothing, all of the material things that are necessary to keep us going. And when Jupiter goes into Taurus, you can actually prosper through those topics. I'm going to talk a little bit about history of Jupiter in Taurus, like the past times Jupiter was in Taurus, and you can reflect on the historical achievements that happened at those times, as well as on what was happening in your life personally for you. But yeah, prospering through food, fashion, beauty products, just to name a couple of things. Mickey Mouse was created during Jupiter in Taurus. McDonald's was created with Jupiter in Taurus. Apple, even the fact that like Apple computers is something that was like conceived of or created with Jupiter in Taurus, right? It's like, it's a tech thing, it's a tech company, but it's called Apple. So there is, even there, we have an element of like kind of food. We are, like I said, we may get some of the results of our labors, because in Aries, we started a bunch of things. In Taurus, you may be able to enjoy some of them. For example, you know, conceiving of a business and starting a business during Jupiter in Aries. With Jupiter in Taurus, perhaps you get to make your first, I don't know, 10K, and you're able to use this money to go on vacation, right? Or something like there is a possibility of just relaxing. Another thing that is very much a signature of Taurus is like sensuality. Taurus is a very tactile sign, so it appreciates the simple pleasures, right? Like a hug, a cuddle, a blanket, sex. So you might also notice that you are prioritizing those sensual pleasures more. Watch out for, as always, you know, Jupiter expands things, so it can expand the more negative qualities of the sign. So in Taurus, that could be overindulgence, right? Prioritizing comfort more than progress. It could mean also being too narrow-minded or too focused on material gains and forgetting about spiritual gains. Being too lazy, right? I don't think that's, you know, the thing that's happening this time around. Jupiter will be co-present with Uranus, and Uranus is electric and excited, and so I don't think we are really in danger of being too lazy. But you know, there's always that kind of energy of wait and see. Nothing needs to change if it's working already. That maybe is gonna stand in your way. And yeah, like watch out for being too stubborn, too narrow-minded, too subjective. The negative side of Jupiter and Taurus can also be the rise of people in power, the rise of companies that are sort of monopolizing. Is that the word? Monopoly? Monopolizing? I don't know. It sounds weird to me. But you know, like even Apple, right? Like iPhone has become a staple. Like I have an iPhone and most people have iPhones. A lot of times if you need a charger for a different phone, you're unable to get it because they have taken the market and they're sort of cornered the market. So that is more negative kind of energy. But on the positive, if you are looking at the Jupiterian values in Taurus, it would be valuing family, it would be valuing stability, it would be valuing material kind of sharing and generosity, right? So it's up to you how you use it and whether you focus on the big picture or whether you focus on the more small kind of mundane things in life. So be thoughtful. The history is very interesting. I'm going to credit Nylon magazine, David Odyssey, for the really kind of beautiful article that talks about it. But a few past presences or transits of Jupiter through Taurus. So in 1928, 1929, Mickey Mouse was introduced and silent movies were abandoned for the talking picture. So you often see the developments in art because Taurus is ruled by Venus, like major jumps in terms of like art and creativity. In May 1940, when Jupiter went into Taurus, that was interesting because it was right after the Great Depression in the US and right at the start of the World War II. And that was actually the time when Uranus was in Taurus, and we're getting Uranus in Taurus together with Jupiter in Taurus this time around as well. So between 1940 and 1941, the economy was kind of coming back to life. The arrival of World War II initiated a surge in like creating, you know, developing new planes. Like that's the time when we were sort of seeing the first jet planes, the computers, and even the foundation of McDonald's was seen around that time. At the same time, what's interesting, and it's something that we can potentially expect around this time as well, is the rise of people trying to hold on to power, right? Around 1940, 1941, it was people like Hitler and Mussolini. And right now we have people like, you know, Vladimir Putin and others. And so with Jupiter going back into Taurus, you can see those people trying to, and it's interesting because Pluto is also moving back to Capricorn, but the shift of Pluto into Aquarius for the next 20 years is imminent, right? We already have experienced a taste test of Pluto in Aquarius. So the time for change, the time for transformation in the government, in the way to hold power is imminent. It's definitely going to happen. But before it's going to happen, we may see those people trying to really control and grasp to anything they can in order to not give up their power. So that is interesting, right? Like huge boost to economy, but also people in power trying to hold on to it. 1976 into 1977 was amazing in terms of art and creativity. ABBA, Queen were at their peak. You know, Star Wars came out, Saturday Night Fever, Annie Hall, etc. Apple Computers was founded, kind of joining Disney and McDonald's as the, you know, companies in charge. So impressive, right? Like Disney, McDonald's, Apple. 1999 into 2000 was another Jupiter in Taurus period. This was the period where, once again, a lot of major kind of movies like The Matrix, Scream, X-Men, The Virgin Suicides, so many. And then the final one, which I was actually more conscious during and more aware, is the June 2011 into June 2012. So if you are younger, if you are, you know, 20 and older, you can reflect on that period in your life and see what was that like. And that was, you know, that was also kind of important because iPhones became quite present and dominant in our life, and there was an introduction of a lot of important artists like Lawrence Del Rey and Florence and the Machine. And the show The Girls was created as well, which, you know, created by Lena Dunham, who's a Taurus. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, reflect on that period from June 2011 until June 2012. It's interesting because for me, Taurus is the 8th house, the house of other people's resources and kind of blessings from other people. And it was right around the time when I graduated. I presented my film at my college film festival because I went to school for film production. Surprise, surprise. I even got like a small prize, a small kind of scholarship. I don't think it was a scholarship, but yeah, like a prize for my film. And I found my first ever editing job. So kind of started a career as an editor and got, you know, welcomed into that field. So it was a good time. Some of the important dates to keep in mind, or, you know, other, like Uranus is important. I think Uranus will definitely, and they will be co-present pretty much the entire time. There's going to be an exact conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus, but you will feel the effect the entire time. Initially, when Jupiter enters Taurus, it's going to square Pluto. So May 16th, May 17th, 18th. Could be rough because your desire for something is likely to be very strong to a point of taking action that is not aligned with your soul's purpose and sort of pushing things and being too power hungry. So be aware of those impulses and try to harness the energy positively. As well as on June 19th, we're going to get the sextile to Saturn in Pisces. And that's another co-present story that's going to last for a while because Saturn is in Pisces, Jupiter is in Taurus. They sextile each other. And that implies that Jupiterian progress will be connected to Saturnian actions. And Saturn in Pisces is also very creative, right? Taurus and Pisces share Venus. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus rules Taurus. So both are creative, artistic, imaginative, inspired, but Saturn will slow down the progress of Jupiter a little bit. Not by a lot, but, you know, by some amount. So, you know, some of the things like I mentioned on a global scale, and I'm about to talk about it for each of the 12 signs, but if the history between 1940 and 1941, when Jupiter was in Taurus co-present in with Uranus, is to repeat itself, or if the history is in any indicator, which history does repeat itself, not the exact history, but there's definitely, I like the quote, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So you can see some similar topics, right? Jupiter is growth, Uranus is tech, future, science, emergence of technology. We are already facing, you know, meta universe technological developments, so we will likely see even more, like streaming services like Hulu and Netflix potentially creating even more, putting even more kind of movies and shows out there, meta universe potentially taking shape. We may see people in power grasping for more power and, like, you know, taking more risks that can potentially backfire and make them fall. Yeah, I think, you know, I think with Pluto going into Aquarius, we definitely are on the precipice of a big change in terms of how we deal with power and how we approach, you know, the whole like idea of a very small percentage of people having most of money or being in charge. I think that will change potentially soon. I think people will start to prioritize their physical body more. I think I see the return, be that through art, through music, through everyday life, to like just the pleasure of touch. So I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see some kind of, I don't know, big vibrator coming out, or some kind of like developments when it comes to like sex and sensuality. And of course, you know, creative breakthroughs, creative developments. We will have Venus retrograde in July and August, and that will also be an interesting period in which we may be rethinking what is art, what is beauty, what is inspiring, right? So make a plan, pursue your goals, be patient, be steady, love yourself, right? Touch yourself. Love people in your life, sort of prioritize the connection, prioritize the touch and the human interactions. Treat yourself as the queen or the king you are, and, you know, sort of prioritize your own well-being. Make sure you're not just being too money, power, likes, hungry. You know, remember that there is spirituality to it as well. If you'd like a reminder of it, I have a Jupiter in Pisces candle. It smells like figs, and it has that Jupiter in spiritual Pisces. So check out my website. And yeah, like, you know, focus on things that are important to you. Focus on things that are real and things that you already care about and we all care about, and pursue those. So it's been a long introduction of Jupiter in Taurus, but I think it's a big deal, right? Jupiter is going to stay in Taurus for 20 years. But now let's talk about the rising signs. I talk about the rising signs because rising sign or the ascendant determines where the rest of the transits fall in a natal chart, and so it tends to be the most accurate. So if you are an Aries rising, Jupiter is about to go into your second house together with Uranus, right? And with Jupiter being in Aries early in the year, you may have reinvented yourself. You may have pursued new projects, embraced a leadership role, kind of stood up and said, this is who I am. And with Jupiter entering Taurus, your second house, you can experience a sense of expansion and growth when it comes to your finances, potentially a change of values where you start to prioritize rest and prioritize a better work-life balance, better schedule. You may be making money through Taurian industry, which is maybe you're starting a restaurant, maybe you are opening a spa, maybe you are starting to do more creative work potentially. You can experience, you can kind of get a financial boost, pay raise, receive a bonus, and just see major kind of developments when it comes to your financial situation. It could be the time when you pay off your debts, when you make a big investment, maybe you buy real estate and become a homeowner for the first time. Not, you know, kind of not the worst time to ask for a raise. I think chances of you getting a raise are likely. And the presence of Uranus makes me wonder if there is some kind of futuristic, scientific, technological type of advancement or business or career development that you're pursuing. If you are a Taurus rising, Jupiter is about to go into your first house, and it will be there together with Uranus. First house is the place of self. It's the place of physical body. It's the place of your look and your personality and your goals, right? So Jupiter in the first house is lovely. It's supportive, it's encouraging, it kind of likely bring more optimism your way and encourage you to just reinvent yourself. You've already had Uranus in your first house for a while, so you are potentially excited for new beginnings. Maybe you are becoming a parent for the first time. Maybe you're pursuing a new career, and Jupiter will bless those pursuits. It will encourage you to not stand still and to not be complacent. It will definitely want you to take action, start new personal projects, announce your candidacy for presidency or something, or you know, take a leap, take a risk, become a teacher, become a guide of other people, because that's what Jupiter is in the first house. It can like offer you opportunities to either improve yourself or improve the lives of other people. Be careful for Jupiter's tendency to overindulge. In here in the first house, the danger of gaining weight is stronger than in other places. So keep an eye for that. If you are a Gemini rising, Jupiter is about to go into your 12th house. We'll be there together with Uranus. And this is interesting in terms of like mental and spiritual breakthroughs. Maybe you start therapy, maybe you're in therapy already and you experience more self-understanding, kind of like you have for this year to come, you have more clarity and more ability to understand yourself, to release something that no longer serves you. Jupiter is empowering, Jupiter is uplifting, so it's not going to be dark. Of course, you may have to face some dark experiences and release something from the past, but I think overall it's likely to help you see your mental blocks, your hidden traumas, your self-limiting beliefs, and help you release them. That's very much Uranus is like lightning strikes and you set yourself free, you let something go. So definitely beneficial for that, connecting with your spiritual self, getting more interested in yoga, astrology, spirituality, prioritizing those kind of things. You know, suddenly you may notice that you're so much more interested in pulling tarot cards and you spend more time doing it, or you book your first astrology reading. You know, I'm here if you need help. So definitely could be a great time to review your beliefs, to review your blocks and how you treat yourself, and lean into spirituality as a source of help, as a source of guidance. If you are a Cancer rising, Jupiter is about to go in your 11th house, and Jupiter is in its joy in the 11th house. Jupiter likes to preach, teach, share, guide. 11th house has a lot of people in it. It's the house of the collectives and the groups of people. So here you're definitely getting a chance to present your work to other people. So you may get more support, you may get a chance to shine on social media, expand your following, expand your reach. I have seen a Gemini rising just hit insane success on social media kind of very quickly with Jupiter in the 11th. So don't hesitate to bring your work in front of other people and kind of present projects. It could be your opportunity to reinvent your friendships. You may feel ready for a change in terms of groups and collectives you associate with. Maybe you're starting to volunteer. Maybe you're joining a fitness club and you're meeting a lot of new people and like socializing. Definitely could be an exciting time in your friendship life, like a time to try, meet new people, try new things. And becoming a leader, you know, volunteering, donating to charity, kind of connecting with the collective, getting more interested in the collective is a theme here as well. If you are a Leo rising, congratulations. The planet of good luck is going into your house of status, reputation, career. And Uranus is here, and Uranus is electric, uplifting. Well, not so much Jupiter is uplifting, but Uranus is electric and surprising. Jupiter is beneficial, so together you get electric, exciting surprises and opportunities to grow professionally, to take on a different role, to show up in a different context, to present your ideas. You may receive opportunities for promotion, opportunities to pursue new projects, maybe a chance to start your own business. Jupiter is a teacher, right? A guide, a guru archetype. So I wonder if for some of you it means transitioning into the role of sharing your knowledge versus being kind of the subject of someone sharing their knowledge with you. Maybe you are graduating and becoming a member of the workforce. Maybe you are ready to shake things up professionally. Maybe you're moving. it could, of course, there could be some like shakeups and tensions at work because Uranus is here. But I think ultimately, whatever breakthroughs and new beginnings you experience, they will bring more stability and steadiness and better balance in your life. Maybe you start your own restaurant. Maybe you start a fashion blog, right? It's Taurus after all. So I can see something like that being beneficial for you. For my lovely Virgo risings, Jupiter is about to go into your 9th house and join Taurus, Uranus and Taurus here. If there was ever a good time to go back to school, to get a scholarship, to apply for a scholarship, this is the time. This is the best time to do those kind of things. Maybe you've always wanted to go to college and now you get an opportunity. Maybe you're going back to school. You may be traveling more. 9th house is the place of philosophy and belief in your worldview. And a lot of times when transits happen in the 9th house, our mindset changes through either meeting people that are different than us or going on adventures or studying. So I feel like exciting opportunities to travel, exciting opportunities to study or teach, write, present your work, publish your work, are highly likely here, as well as meeting people who are like teachers and can help you and open your mind. If you are involved in a legal matter of any sort, it can also go your way and be more successful at this time. Now, if you are a Libra rising, Jupiter is about to join Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. And 8th house represents debts, taxes, karmic dependencies, agreements with other people, other people's resources, your partner's resources. So when Jupiter goes into your 8th house, it could be very beneficial financially, but the benefits are likely to come through other people. So somebody can reach out to you with an opportunity to pay off a debt or opportunity to collaborate. And this agreement you're about to join in or contract you're about to sign can offer you some kind of beneficial situation or can put you in a beneficial position. There could be opportunities to pay off a debt. Maybe you're paying off a mortgage, to get a loan. To get a mortgage, you may be benefiting through debts of people. Like 8th house could be very much, your husband's uncle passes away and they leave them some money, and so you benefit through that. Or even somebody, a grandpa dies. Hopefully nobody dies, but it can definitely be a situation in which something surprising, something sudden and potentially unpleasant leads to benefits. I think Jupiter in the 8th house, I've heard, could be an example of like you partner up with an astrologer and they pass away and they leave you their list of clients. So definitely some kind of opportunities coming from other people. Your partner can experience a positive change and perhaps they can gain new resources that can benefit you. And just in general, like a breakthrough, a change around how you relate to money, around how you relate to other people. If you are someone who's handling a lot and who's always kind of in charge and has other people to rely on, maybe this is your partner's opportunity to lend you a helping hand. Or if you have been relying on other people and depending on them, this could be the opposite case scenario where you get a job, you get an offer that lets you be more independent and maybe make your own money. So quite exciting. I can also see breakthroughs surrounding fears, vulnerabilities, dependencies on other people. If you are a Scorpio rising, this is exciting. Jupiter is about to join Uranus in your 7th house. And 7th house is the place of partnerships, business, marriage, one-on-one, significant, close relationships. And Jupiter, being the planet of good luck, can definitely bless that sector of your chart. So I can see new opportunities to work with other people, and I can see opportunities to date other people. And because it's going to be co-present with Uranus, maybe the people you date or the people you go in business with are very different. Something about them makes them stand apart. They're not the type of person you would normally go for many possible reasons, right? They could be of different culture, they could be of different belief system. There's definitely a lot of interesting possibilities. Maybe you're freeing yourself from a connection and you're going off on your own, and you are separating from a relationship that has been holding you back. Or maybe, you're ready to start a business on your own versus having a partner. So definitely exciting. Your partner can undergo a change in experience, a sense of growth, a sense of some kind of personal important development. Maybe they get a new job, maybe they get a chance to move and you're moving with them. So your life changes are very connected to their life changes. It's an interesting time because it's the house of other people. So opportunities that come to you at this time are often coming through other people. Meeting collaborators, meeting teachers, meeting guides, people with answers, people with help and solutions is also highly likely. So be on the lookout, and hopefully this transit brings you a lot of abundance and well-being. And if this is your natal Jupiter and you're getting Jupiter in Taurus and you're born with Jupiter in Taurus, double the goodness, double the fun. If you are a Sagittarius rising, Jupiter is about to go into your 6th house and join Uranus here. 6th house is the place of daily work. It's the place of service and health and well-being. And it's a place of a lot of hard work. It's not gonna lie, it's not always the fun house, but Jupiter is a beneficial planet. So if it means that you are taking care of someone, or you're busy with work, maybe you feel like there's a lot going on that is taking your attention, Jupiter here will inspire you and make the load feel lighter. It can bring a chance to introduce better balance in your life. Maybe it suggests, or maybe Jupiter goes into Taurus and you get inspired to take dance lessons, and so it's not just work, but you can also enjoy something. Maybe you feel like your health is more important and you prioritize it through getting regular massages, or you sign up for a course to be a massage therapist, and you kind of use your passion for healthy living and turn that into a career. I like Jupiter in the 6th house. It tends to bless your health. It tends to be beneficial. Even if not immediately, sometimes it could be a sign that you're finding a good doctor, that it's not just, Jupiter comes into the 6th house and your health is like, mwah. But it's likely to be better, and it's likely to be, you are going to be more proactive. You're going to be more willing to make changes that introduce better health, and you're going to be more willing to go out there and meet people that can help your health. Watch out for overindulging. 6th house represents health. Jupiter represents a lot of things, big things. So there might be a bit of a danger of eating too much, because if you feel stressed about something, Jupiter will be like, here's a donut, here's a cake. So be mindful of that. And enjoy Jupiter in the 6th house. Don't kind of hesitate to take on projects that look heavy and hard, because Jupiter will likely guide you through them. If you are a Capricorn rising, what a beautiful transit as Jupiter goes into your 5th house and joins Uranus here. 5th house is joy. It's play, it's fun, it's romance, creativity, fertility, and Jupiter in Taurus, in the most fertile sign ever, in the most fertile house ever. If you're trying to get pregnant, this is the most fertile time ever. Other things considered, but I think Jupiter in the 5th house is definitely, especially in Taurus, is like super fertile time. So if you're not ready to be a parent, use extra protection. But if you are, that's something you've been looking for. You might get pregnant within the next year. And if you do, please let me know. Be like, Anastasia promised it, and it happened. If you're not interested in becoming a parent, this could be or you are a parent already, this could be a beautiful time in the life of your child where they experience growth. And the child could be anything, right? Like fifth house is the place of self-expression and fun and creativity. So maybe you have a creative baby. Maybe you wrote a screenplay and you're shopping it around and it gets taken on. It gets accepted into a festival and you get the prize and it is seen by a producer and the producer wants to see more of your work. So it could be a beautiful time. Of course, Taurus moves slowly. It's sexiling Saturn, so it's not necessarily like fireworks nonstop really quickly. So you may have to be patient, but it could be a beautiful time for writing, creating, procreating, taking new hobbies, taking care of your children, taking care of your inner child, getting more in touch with what makes you happy, what brings you joy. Have fun. If you are an Aqua rising, Jupiter is about to go into your fourth house, the place of home and family. It's going to join Uranus there and bring good luck to the topics of home and family, right? This could be the time where you are changing your place of living. Jupiter wants to expand things. So doing an addition to your home, making improvements, rebuilding, redecorating, investing, buying a home. There's a lot of different possibilities. You can, if you've been looking for a property, this could be the time you finally find it. You know, if you've been facing any challenges to your home search. Your family can experience a better period. Your family can go through maybe a sense of joy and happiness and renewal. Maybe you're reconnecting with family. Maybe you're just feeling kind of more able to break away from the past, right? Uranus is electric, eye-opening, so you can experience a sense of release of something that is heavy and instead like choosing to create comfort, choosing to surround yourself with beautiful things. I wonder with Uranus here if it's also maybe you're adding some technology to your home and making it kind of faster and more up to code or more like speedy. But it's definitely exciting for new beginnings when it comes to family. Maybe you are releasing a dynamic with a family member that is too controlling and you're choosing kind of freedom and reconnecting with yourself, getting more kind of clear about what you want, and the changes in the family are connected to that. So could be fun. Now, if you are a Pisces rising, Jupiter is about to go into your third house. Third house deals with your everyday life, your communication, your siblings, neighbors, technology you use, trips you take. So Jupiter conjunct Uranus, or Jupiter rather co-present with Uranus for the next year, will likely change your everyday life. Could be many reasons, right? I have a Pisces rising client who is pregnant right now. So giving birth to a child it's impossible for your daily life not to change, right? So your daily life might expand. There might suddenly be a lot more things that you're handling. I think it could also be like a very interesting mental shift. Like Jupiter goes into the house of the mind and you start to think differently. You start to make choices that are healthier. You start to be more optimistic, more open-minded. Maybe you're finding opportunities to write, to teach, to empower other people, getting more involved with the community, sharing your ideas through a podcast, through a blog, through a screenplay that you're writing. Definitely very exciting, I think, in terms of educational opportunities, teaching or studying, creating, expressing yourself, sharing. Maybe your everyday life is changing because you're moving, or your job is changing and now you need to take more short trips, or maybe you're starting to work from home and now you need to get more organized in your immediate environment. So definitely exciting time for both the mental energy, mental space, and whatever comes out, you know, your self-expression. Maybe you're learning a new language, or you're moving, or you're getting kind of a new neighborhood and connecting with new people. So it could be very exciting for that. And let me know if this resonates and if you feel like these changes are already manifesting somehow in the comments below. And this is it. I'm excited for this transit. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And enjoy. Take the most advantage, and don't forget that taking advantage of this transit also means chilling, because that's what Taurus is really good at. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.